Welcome to Quick Picks with Just Facts Combat, where we give you quick but expertly chosen picks for your bets. This week we have UFC 316, where Kayla Harrison and Juliana Pena finally have their grudge match, or should I say hug match, as I feel that's what's really going to happen. Haha. Both have been trash-talking each other for years and not taking accountability for it. Typical of women, right? And then we have Merab v O'Malley 2, a fight and rematch no one asked for, except Dana and O'Malley die-hard fans. In the first fight of this card we have Choinski taking on Marquel Mederos on short notice. This is a bad thing for Choinski's style, which is a naturally heavy wrestling and grinding style. He is also used to fighting mid-level guys on the regional scene and now is taking on a proven UFC fighter, which is a much higher level than he is used to, so I will make this prediction fast. Mederos should be able to survive his early grappling attempts and light him up late once he starts to slow down and run out of ideas. I am thinking round 2 or 3. Or he dominates him on his back foot and wins a unanimous decision. Prediction: Marquel Mederos via TKO, round 2 or 3, or decision. Quillan Salkilld vs Yanal Ashmouz. Ashmouz's leaping style won't work well against Salkild's 6-inch reach advantage, as he leaves himself too open to counters, and doesn't set up well. I also expect him to try to wrestle here, as Quillan has shown flaws in his takedown defense, but if Quillan keeps it standing and avoids being ragdolled, he should cruise to a decision or even stop Ashmouz, but I doubt that considering how tough Ashmouz's chin is. Prediction: Quillan Salkilld via decision or submission, but I am leaning towards a decision here. Jeka Saragih vs Joo-Sang. Striker versus grappler here. Jeka's got power and experience, but Joo-Sang's well-rounded game could expose his grappling holes. Expect a submission or grindy decision if Joo-Sang plays it smart. Prediction: Joo-Sang via submission or decision. Ariane Lipski vs Wang Cong. Wang has sharper striking and better range control. Lipski should mix in some grappling since she likely won't be able to land consistently. She also missed weight by a few pounds, and could be in a bad state of mind if it's not a health issue as to the reason for the miss. Expect Wang to outwork her from range and either drop her in round 2 or 3 or win a clear decision here. Prediction: Wang Cong via TKO or decision. Khaos Williams vs Andreas Gustafsson. Very close fight. If Gustafsson can grind and clinch, he wins on volume striking and close range and control time. But if he blitzes in recklessly, Khaos could crack him with something big. I'll side with the grinder. Prediction: Andreas Gustafsson via decision. Serghei Spivac vs Waldo Cortes-Acosta. Spivac's wrestling will be too much. Acosta might try to keep it standing in box, but Spivac will drag him down and drown him with ground and pound or grab a sub once he flattens him out, so give me Spivac in round 1 or 2. Prediction: Serghei Spivac via submission or TKO. Azamat Murzakanov vs Brendson Ribeiro. Ribeiro brings power, but not much else. Murzakanov should stay composed, work the body, and counter those wild swings until he finds the finish. Ribeiro might try to use his jiu-jitsu, but I see Murzakanov stuffing all attempts and keeping it on the feet until he finds the shot. Give me Murzakanov via round 2 or 3 TKO. Prediction: Azamat Murzakanov via TKO, leaning heavily this way. Bruno Silva vs Joshua Van. Van is a rising star. Great IQ, clean striking, and nasty bodywork. Silva's too one-dimensional and lacks the wrestling to drag Van into deep waters to put his jiu-jitsu to use. Expect Van to light him up and possibly finish him, since there is a high chance of this. Prediction: Joshua Van via TKO or decision. 2 finishers, 2 wild styles. This should be chaos. Holland has the power and reach to stop almost anyone. He just needs to clean up his striking. Luque's durability has dipped lately after years of wars, and his come-forward style could get him clipped here. Luque might try to mix in grappling, but Holland's active off his back and tough to sub. If they start swinging, I think Holland finds the mark and puts him down, especially by round 2 or 3. Final prediction: Kevin Holland via TKO or decision. Mario Bautista vs Patchy Mix. Patchy Mix is finally making his UFC debut, and this guy is the real deal. Dangerous everywhere, especially on the mat. Bautista is a solid, well-rounded fighter but often defaults to clinching when under pressure. That's risky here. Patchy thrives in grappling exchanges and can lock up subs from anywhere. If Bautista dips recklessly or initiates clinches, he might get caught with a knee or end up in a choke. Expect Bautista to try to slow things down, but if he doesn't do damage, Patchy's aggression and control will steal rounds, or even the whole fight. Final prediction: Patchy Mix via submission or decision. Kelvin Gastelum vs Joe Pyfer. This one's got fight of the night written all over it, if it actually happens this time. After multiple cancellations, we're hoping the curse is finally lifted. If they make it to the cage, I'm picking Pyfer. His height and reach should help him pick Gastelum apart at range. Kelvin's boxing is solid, but he tends to leave himself open, especially against longer opponents. Pfeiffer's power and composure should be enough here. TKO is possible, but Gastelum's tough and rarely folds easily. Pfeiffer might play it smart and win a clear decision if the finish doesn't come. Final prediction: Joe Pfeiffer via TKO or decision. Co-main, Juliana Pena vs Kayla Harrison. Classic striker versus grappler, but with a twist. Pena is actually a solid grappler herself and has dealt with better wrestlers than Kayla before. Harrison is most dangerous when she's dominating on the ground, blending her judo and BJJ. But Pena's pressure boxing almost guarantees she'll end up in the pocket with her. Nunes exposed Pena's over-aggression in their rematch, taking her down 6 times and controlling her on the mat for nearly half the fight. That's concerning against someone like Kayla. If Pena isn't careful, history could repeat itself. Still, I think Pena pulls it off. Harrison's weight cut to 136 will be brutal, especially over 5 rounds. Pena's pace and toughness might be enough to wear her down late and turn the tide. Harrison can get herself some good control time in the earlier rounds and some ground and pound, then he might be able to steal it though. But I don't agree with the odds, so I will take the risk on the very well-rounded underdog here. Final prediction: Juliana Pena via decision or TKO. Main event: Merab Dvalishvili vs Sean O'Malley. Let's be honest, most people think this one's a done deal, right? Merab took control last time, and everyone pretty much saw it coming. But there are a few things worth pointing out that could change how you look at this rematch. O'Malley actually won the final round by using his range better, being more aggressive, and leaning into his kicking game. Earlier in the fight, though, he let Merab dictate the pace. His lack of urgency allowed Merab to be first, close distance, and smother him. But when O'Malley used his footwork, stayed long, and threw body kicks as Merab stepped in, he found success. I'm still leaning Merab here. His pressure, pace, and cardio are ridiculous, but with the right game plan, O'Malley can beat him. I'll dive deeper into how in an upcoming video breakdown. Final prediction: Merab Dvalishvili via decision or submission.